Hey everyone, welcome to the Simplilearn's YouTube channel. In this tutorial, we'll learn about n8n, the AI agent building platform that is so simple and easy. Building an AI agent no longer requires years of coding expertise, thanks to the power of artificial intelligence. Today, we will take you to this hands-on session on n8n, where you will discover how easy it is to build powerful AI agents and automations without having to write a single line of code. Whether you're a marketer, creator, or entrepreneur, n8n lets you connect tools like OpenAI, Telegram, and Airtable effortlessly. In this session, we will walk you through creating an AI-powered appointment scheduling automation from scratch. Plus, you'll also get access to ready-to-use workflows from n8n community completely free of cost. We'll also drop the link to the fascinating workflow that we created on Simplilearn's YouTube channel based on self-learning AI agent, showcasing how you can create smart bots that adapt over time. In this tutorial, you'll learn the fundamentals of n8n and how to lay foundations of such an intelligent assistant step by step. And just that you know, if you want to upskill yourself, master generative AI and artificial intelligence skills and land in your dream job, or grow in your career, then you must explore Simplilearn's cohort of various generative AI courses and certifications. Simplilearn offers various certification programs in collaboration with some of the world's leading universities like Purdue, IIT Guwahati, and many more. Through our courses, you will gain knowledge and work-ready expertise in skills like advanced Python, machine learning, generative AI, and over a dozen others. That's not all. You also get the opportunity to work on multiple projects and learn from industry experts working in top-tier data and product companies and academics from top universities. After completing these courses, thousands of learners have transitioned into an AI and machine learning role as a fresher or moved on to a higher paying job and profile. If you are passionate about making your career in this field, then make sure to check out the link in the pinned comment and description box below to find a generative AI program that fits your experience and areas of interest. Now, without further delay, let's get started. n8n tutorial for beginners. So let's go through the introductions. So we are on the landing page of n8n, so we can just get started for free, and there you go. You need to add some credentials here, for example, full name and your email address. So let's go with the personal email address so that you can relate to this. So I'll be also using simple passwords here and simple email addresses. So here comes the account name. You need to make sure that you have a unique account name for your particular project or your account or user ID. So make sure that it is not used by anyone, or it should not be beyond the requirements of this particular n8n platform. So it says that it should have small letters and no special symbols. So let's eliminate special symbols and dot. So small case and 1, 2, 3. That's good. So now you can either save or you can ignore that. So I've saved it for safer side. So we are proceeding with a free version of this particular n8n platform. You can also choose to buy a version that suits your requirements as well. There are 3 different ones: trial version for individuals, which comes with free of cost. And the second one is a paid premium version for single purpose. And the third one is enterprise purpose. So based on your requirement, you can choose your particular application or platform. Now I'm adding some more details. These are the formalities which you need to add before you continue with your project. So submit, I think that's the last one. And here you can add the same email ID that you have logged in from and invite. So you can just go there and verify. And you can also see there is a quick start on n8n platform, which can help you have a briefing on that. But anyways, we'll also have that briefing here. So we are on the platform right now. And there you can see 14 days left in your n8n trial. So these are some notifications that you will be having. And there are the applications. You can begin with building a simple AI agent, or you can also get started from scratch. So there's the AI agent and the scratch one. So let me go back to the normal version of the screen. I'll be expanding the screen based on the requirements. So here on the left hand side, you can see preview, personal, and here are the production executions, failed productions. So it's like a dashboard on your projects, a detail on your projects. So here are the credentials and execution. So credentials is the page where you add all the credentials. Let's say you are getting connected to any of the LLM platform or any of the APIs. That's where you go and add your credentials. Now here you can see all the things here: overview, personal, share, templates, admin, insights, everything. So those are the details. So what you can do is just simply click on create a new project or create from start, and there is your kind of breadboard kind of structure, which is your workflow platform. Now, based on our requirement, we'll be needing a few things. So I'll open up a new tab and I'll be opening Gmail. I'll be opening up Google Sheets as well as Google Forms. So remember, we discussed on creating an AI agent or AI automation that books your appointment with the person you're trying to meet, right? So now we'll also need Google Cloud Console. So here you just have the Gmail and Google Sheets and Google Forms and Google Cloud Console as well. Now first we'll get started by clicking on the plus option by creating a blank form. You can add a good name to your form and then some details like email, name of the person who is looking for an appointment, phone number, and maybe the reason of appointment. And apart from that, you can also have a calendar which says on which date he's looking for an appointment with Simplilearn. So once you're comfortable with all the details that you want from the person, then you can continue. So I've given this name as appointment scheduling automation, and description is completely optional, but still we'll have it as a good sign so that if a team is working on this, or if somebody is replicating something for themselves, then they should have a briefing, right? So this acts like a comment on coding platform. So let's have it for better usage. So this automation is built to receive appointment requests and other things. And then you can proceed with the options. Let's quickly add all these and proceed with the next part of this particular procedure. So the first one was name, which is a required entry. Phone number is also a required entry. And similarly, email address should also be short and it should be a required entry because ultimately we are going to send out a notification. So we might need a verified email address. Now the appointment date, on which date is going to or she is going to request for a date for meeting, right? So that should be there. And optionally, you might choose to have the reason, or you can also ignore it. So here somebody else might also have been looking for an appointment, right? So let's say appointment on the name of who or appointment for, right? And you can also mention the name in brackets, so there is some good clarity. So I think I'm good. Now go into settings and there responses. You can either collect the details or respond the input. So I'll go with the collecting email addresses which are verified, and you can also have the copy of this particular form to be sent to the user directly, or you can also choose request. So if they request, you can send it out, and responses. So far no responses, and now you need to link this particular to a Google Sheet, the form to a Google Sheet. Right, so you can see that option over there which says link to sheets. You can just click on that and just create. So you can either give it a specific name here itself, or you can just directly create and then work on the Google Sheet. So click on create. This should redirect us to a new Google Sheet. So there you go. You can just give a specific name to this particular Google Sheet as well. So you can see on the first column we have timestamp when a request was sent and email address of the person who is going to request for an appointment, and appointment on the name of the person, their phone number, the respective email ID, and the appointment date, the important columns that we are looking for. Now I have named my sheet as appointment request form and responses. So the next procedure now. So now we'll go back to n8n workflow. There's our first step. So you can see we have a lot of options by n8n. You can get ahead with triggering. You can get ahead with an app event, a schedule. Let's say some schedule is appeared and it needs to perform an action, right? So based on the requirement, you can choose your initial point, the trigger point, right? I'll choose to go ahead with Google Sheet. So once I type Google, you can see it shows me a lot of options, basically all the available applications from Google, right? So I'll choose Google Sheets, and there you can see some triggers as well as actions. So let me expand this a little. So whenever a row is added, row is updated, or both row added or updated. So for now, the best choice would be row added or updated. but I'd go with just a row added because there's a simple email sending application using n8n, right? So let's also take a quick look on the actions. So here you can see creating a spreadsheet, delete a spreadsheet, or some of the operations that you regularly follow up on any Google Sheet. So now, for now, I'll go with on row added. The first option, you can see that logo or an orange colored thunderbolt which sees or which explains that it is a trigger. Now you don't have any credentials, right? So you need to add credentials so that n8n understands who is the owner of this particular sheet and how do I react to this, right? So whenever there is an entry, it should understand that this particular owner's sheet has an entry and I need to perform some operations, right? So that's how you need to, or that's why you need to add a credential here. So a simple step, just click on the options, a drop down option, and just click on the adding credentials. Once, let's go back to Canvas. There you can see there are some errors on the sheet. So to add credentials, just double click and so click on the create new credential, and there you need to select O2 authentication, which is the recommended one. For that you need to sign in. So go to Google Cloud Console here, click on the console option, and we will be activating 3 different APIs here, Google Gmail, Google JSON Forms. So before that, let's create a project. So there is some default project from our end, my first project. You can also select that, or you can prefer to create a new project altogether. So on the left hand side, you can see some options. So we will be going ahead with APIs and services. And here you can see that option called OAuth consent screen, right? That's the option that we need to select. Let me highlight that. Yeah, that's the one. And here you don't have any authentication configured yet. So you can proceed to do a configuration. So before that, you need to click on the client in the same window. And you don't have any clients yet, so you need to create a client. So if you go on to that particular project name over there on the top, yeah, that's the one. And if you just click on it, it'll give you an option to create a new project. And now you're in the project window. Here you can provide a specific name to your project. I will name it as appointment automation. And you can either choose to have an organization, or if you don't have an organization, or if you're doing this just for learning purpose, choose the no organization perspective. Okay, that name was a little too long, so let me eliminate confirmation part of this particular project name. There you go. You can just click on create. So there you go. You can see a project has been created on the name appointment automation. You can just simply select the project to get into it and proceed with creating the clients. So your name has been successfully changed to appointment automation. You are in the new project that you just created. Now you need to create the clients. You can click on get started window or button in the bottom section. Now you can give a dedicated name to your app. So let's write the name as the same, appointment automation. And in the second section, you can see user support email. So for that, you can have a domain email address or the same email address that you have used to create this particular project. So I'll go with the default email address that I have given here. That's the one. And click on next. So here you can have another option, says internal and external. So I want this to be available for public. So we'll go with the external so that everybody is able to access this particular form. But if you want to keep it internal within your organization, you can go with internal as well. Now I'll go with external and click on next. And same for contact information as well, the same email address. You can just paste the email address and click on next to finish. And finally, you just need to agree to all the API services user data policy. And there you go, create, processing. There you go, you're good to go. On the notification sign, you can see a Google authentication service has been, or configuration has been done. Now you need to authorize. So create OAuth authentication for your client. So you can see no, nothing is done yet. Just click on that window or button and you'll be redirected to a new web page where you need to enter a few things. So firstly, what type of application is it? So it'll be a web application, and you can name your web client as appointment, the same project name, automation. So previously we used to have a requirement where you need to add the secret keys and everything. So here everything is done automatically. Firstly, before that, adding the URI and URLs to redirect, right? So this is very critical. So for URI, you need to go back to your n8n platform. Click on add URI, and the first URI is your project name. So just click on the entire link. Make sure you select all the name except for the workflow name and new. Apart from that, everything needs to be selected right from HTTPS. Just copy that and go back to your Google console and just paste it there. There you go. I think even this slash is not required. Just eliminate it. And you should be having a fully functional URI. Now, you need to have a URI for redirect as well. Now, this is also simple. You just need to paste the same URL. So you just need to log in. I'm choosing my email address that I used to create this particular application and select all. Continue. And good enough. The connection is successful even without a redirect URL. But for safer side, we will be having that particular URI for redirection. So based on the documentation, it would be really simple. You just need to add a few things. You'll be selecting the same URL here, just like we did before. But to that, we will be adding a few more details. But basically, in the previous versions of n8n, you need to have that. But later versions, it's automatically selecting it. So the same URL /rest /OAuth2 hyphen credentials /callback. So this particular callback is redirect URI, which is kind of mandatory in the previous versions, but right now it is not as much as required. So you're done with it safely. Now just scroll down a little bit. You can already see in notification which says OAuth configuration created. You can just keep a screenshot of this, or you can just save this particular text from /rest or /2. So just in case if you need, you can add that. Now you'll be having this particular OAuth requirement secret key and client ID. If you're working on the previous version of n8n, you definitely need this. But if you're working on the latest version, you do not need this. n8n will automatically have them saved. But for safer side, I will anyways save this as secret ID and secret key. So client ID and secret key. This would be my client ID. Just in case if in the future projects, if it gets a little sideways and you may need this particular client ID and secret, you will be having it on the safer side. But anyways, if you don't even save this, you can come back to this project window and anyways copy those things. But let me have this on the offline section. So far so good. Now you need to go back to the next section. After creating clients, you need to create the audience. So basically this particular section has not been set yet. You need to have an audience so that you can try your trial run. You can test your application. For that, you need to have at least one person to have this access. So that can be a test user. So I'll be having my own email address here as the test user. And just save it. Now you have complete access to this particular trial run. And apart from any other illegal accounts, only the legal account has been added. But in case if you want any of the colleague of yours to work on this, you can also add them as your test user. So far so good. And we will be back on the platform. Now the next big thing is set mock data. Currently, this particular Google Sheet is not connected to the form. So it is just showing us the random input, first item, second item, and it shows only two columns, which are not the actual data entries from our original form. we need to connect that. And here you can also choose the modes for how many number of minutes or how many number of seconds you need to refresh. So I'm selecting 1 minute as default, and here I'm selecting the document as appointment request form, which was our original form over here. And now you need to activate all the APIs. Since I said you in the beginning, we have a Gmail API, Google Forms API, Google Drive API, and Sheets API. So we'll just activate and enable all of them. Firstly, Google Drive API. Just click on the enable button and quickly go back to the search window. And instead of Drive, you'll just type down Mail or Gmail. Yeah, that's the one, Gmail API. Same, enable, and just quickly go back to the search window. And the next one would be your Google Sheets API. Yeah, Mail is successfully activated or enabled. Sheets would be the last one. Click on Google Sheets API and enable this. So basically, whichever services from Google you're using, they need to be enabled by their particular or respective APIs. Unless you activate them, you will not be able to kind of collect the inputs from the forms into Google Sheets, and you cannot send an email to your requested client, right? So, so far so good. And from list, this is the form that will receive the input, right? So if you fetch the event, okay, n8n and test, if you fetch the event, basically should not be having any data. Yeah, that's the exact response we're looking for. Since we have not published the Google form and we did not write any entries. Now let's go back to the original form and publish it and try to give it some legitimate input. So this was the form, no zero responses yet. So this will be the name of the form, and we will publish this particular form. Yeah, that's the one. And make sure that it is available to anyone. And then copy the link and paste it in a new window. And here we will be giving some legitimate inputs. So I'm using another Gmail account as the recipient. Record the data as this particular email ID. Let me give an official name and let me drop a number. Of course, the number is not real. It should be having at least 10 digits. I don't want to share any contact details here. So you can also have a legitimate email address here, which should be capable to receiving an email and appointment date. I think I missed out on the calendar settings. I think I gave a short input for calendar. Let me change that to short input to date. That's the date option. Click on that. And you can just quickly refresh, and now it should be changed to a calendar. Yeah, that's the one. Just click on the calendar and give any random date. I'll go with 15th of July 2025 and submit. So you can see there, right? You can send me a copy of my responses or not. I'll select send me a copy so that I should be having both responses. One is the acknowledgement email and another one is the form submission email, right? 2 emails. And now set the mock data. Okay, test the event actually. Now it is listening and I should be having my entries. Let me cancel this matter. Yeah, that's the input I was looking for. The timestamp where I send the request for, and my email address in the tabular format, my name and my phone number. So this is the tabular format, this is the JSON format, and that is the schema. So 3 different versions of displaying your output. Now, legitimately, we need to draft an email. So if I refresh this particular sheet, I should be having the details. There you go. So I have the timestamp on which timestamp I sent out a request for appointment, and my email address, my name, phone number, and everything, the appointment date as well. Now let's go back to the n8n window, back to Canvas. And now our first trigger is set. The second trigger will be a Gmail window, which will send out emails, right? Based on the form data, it should be sending out an email. So I'll be using Gmail. You can also go with Slack or Telegram or messaging applications, anything which you prefer. But I'll be choosing to go ahead with Gmail. So in Gmail, you have a lot of actions. So out of all the actions, I would like to go with send Gmail because I want to send out an email, right? Now, you need to add some properties or parameters to your trigger window or this particular window, which takes the input from the Google Sheets trigger, and based on the input, it will process it and it will send out an email based on the inputs. That's the action. Now, basically, you need to again follow the same credentials thing, which you have already created for Google Sheets. So you just create a new credential, and if you just sign in, automatically the previous credentials will be pulled to this particular process or action window. So just click on sign in with Google, and automatically your authentication will be successful. Choose the same email ID which you used to create the first authentication, and here you just want to allow all the requirements that this particular action will require. Read the emails, send the emails, and everything. Connection is successful. Just close the windows and close again. And now you need to program. So here you can see the resources message. Operation is sent, and next one is to whom, to the email address. You can just drag and drop. That's done. And subject. So you can write down a custom message. You can say Simplilearn acknowledgement or urgent Simplilearn's acknowledgement on appointment, anything like that. Basically, an email subject, which is in the bold letters, the bigger version. I'll write it down as Simplilearn, comma, thanks for reaching out. Okay, this should be the message, right? So I'll terminate that. Urgent, this is the subject, exclamation, acknowledge from Simplilearn. And here should be your message. Now, you might want to add the recipient name here as well, right? So let's say some XYZ has requested for an appointment. So hi XYZ. So in the same way, here we have a name for our recipient. Let me close this window quickly. You can just drag the name and drop it in the message section. There you go. It is automatically turned from fixed to expression. Now let us expand the window so that we have a better perspective view on what are we writing exactly. So hi, appointment name, comma, which is the actual name. And we are pleased to inform you that your appointment is scheduled based on your requirements. So let's quickly write it down. Availability as mentioned. So the available date was the, not timestamp, appointment date, the last option. Drag and drop it there. And now enter to the new line. You can just have a small notification. Please be available at least 10 minutes before the appointment on the location, or if it is a Google call, then on the meeting link. And lastly, signing off for thanks for reaching out and regards, Simplilearn. So on the right hand side, you can see how the output might look, right? So if you're fully satisfied with the output, then you can just close the window. So that's one. Let me expand this for you and close the window and go back to the canvas. Now, once everything is set, the subject, email type is HTML, and the message, you can either choose to go back to the window or you can try out the execution. So click on the execute step and yeah, node successfully executed. Now what we need to do is verify if we have received the email or not. So I'll be logging into the email that I have given for the appointment. And there you go. Urgent acknowledgement from Simplilearn. Hi, name of the person. We're pleased to inform you that your availability as mentioned has been confirmed, and please be in the meeting location. And this was being sent out by n8n platform. And also the message was sent just a moment ago, even 0 minutes. So the form was sent 7 minutes ago, a form response which I chose, right? I need a copy of this. And the email was sent. Yeah, the details are here. Back to canvas. Yeah, there you go. One item has been successfully sent. So apart from this, you might have a question. What if I choose a wrong appointment date, right? Let's say today is 14th of July 2025, and by mistake, somebody had chosen 13th of July 2025, which is in the past, right? In such scenarios, it should not work. For such scenarios, you can choose to have a window, a switch window, if window. You can program it in such a way that if the entered data is wrong, do nothing, right? So firstly, if the data is valid, you can send out a message. So I'll add the message window. I'll not program this. You can just replicate it as it is. And the second one is do nothing. So basically that particular entry is just a stagnated one. It will not perform any operations. Go back to canvas. Now you can connect them. Okay, I need to delete this particular node. I think it got attached to Gmail. Delete, drag it down and attach it to false. So in case if the condition where the date is wrong and it is in the past time, then you can just choose to ignore and do nothing. And if it is a legitimate entry, if it is in future, then you can choose to have this as a send out an email. And the same trigger, you will be using the n8n form trigger, which we used previously. Again, delete this particular node and connect it to the if switch. So simple. You can just have this particular filter where it chooses to have the right data, and you'll have this fully functional. Now let me save this workbook. Not just the simple send an email version, you can also choose to create a lot of other automations using n8n. For example, here if we have on our new page, you can click on the templates. And here you will have about more than 3,248 workflow templates, which are completely free for accessing. Let's say I want to create a self-learning AI agent and hit enter. You will have a lot of results based on the creators and inspirations. And let's say email agent. I have a wide variety of other agents, right? Email autoresponder, which is RAG based, and email summary agent, and the client onboarding one. You can just click on the windows on the new window, and then you can just click on the copy to your workboard. Let me close this. You can either choose to buy, or if you want to free of cost, then you can select the ones which are totally free and just replicate them on your window. So here we have for sales, IT ops, and support, a lot of them. So here you can see some results, client onboarding one, and summarize calls, etc. And if you're working with marketing, you can also have an agent for marketing purposes. So here, financial daily news, automated news summarizer, right? A lot of automations which are readily available. You can just copy them and open them on your workflow. And based on the requirements, you can also make some changes and upload them to be fully functional. And apart from that, as discussed in this particular video description, you will find a self-learning AI agent from Simplilearn, which is completely accessible and you can check it out. And with that, we have come to an end of this session on n8n tutorial for beginners. And if you have any queries regarding any of the topics covered in this session, or if you require the resources that we have used in this session, then please feel free to let us know in the comment section below, and our team of experts will be happy to assist you at the earliest. Until next time, thank you for watching and stay tuned for more from Simplilearn.
Staying ahead in your career requires continuous learning and upskilling. Whether you're a student aiming to learn today's top skills or a working professional looking to advance your career, we've got you covered. Explore our impressive catalog of certification programs in cutting-edge domains, including data science, cloud computing, cybersecurity, AI, machine learning, or digital marketing. Designed in collaboration with leading universities and top corporations, and delivered by industry experts, choose any of our programs and set yourself on the path to career success. Click the link in the description to know more.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.